Manipur. Let's shift our focus to Manipur. Yesterday we saw, how Independence Day was celebrated in Manipur.
Two different Independence Days.
Two contrast pictures. But more than that, we showcased to the viewers how Bollywood returned to Manipur. There was a public screening of Uri, the surgical strike, Vicky Kaushal starrer film. I was, of course, of the opinion that, the selection of the movie could have been a little different. But if patriotism was to be instilled in people, that's something that we will have to look at, of course. But the comments down below, people, especially Manipuris, they said that, cinema has been in Manipur for the longest time. I don't know why people are making such a big deal about it. Of course, there's a ban on Hindi movies, but people watch Hindi movies all the time. They're saying Chak De India is one of the favorite movies of Manipur, where you have, two female players from Manipur who, become part of that team that Coach Khan, Shah Rukh Khan is, Coach Kabir Khan is, coaching for the World Cup. I mean, that was a big shout. But the CBI probe, 53-member team, 29 members are female. What are you picking up?
Well, the Central Intelligence Investigation, this is from the Hindustan Times. What it's being saying is that Central Bureau of Investigation has constituted 53-member team led by 3 Deputy Inspector General rank officers. 2 of them are women. Okay, now among the top leadership of that team also 2 of them are women. To probe the crimes against women in Manipur, officials quoted an internal order issued by the federal agency as saying on Wednesday. The 3 DIGs are Lovely Katiyar, Nirmala Devi and Mohit Gupta, and Superintendent of Police Rajveer will report to Joint Director Ghanshyam Upadhyay, who will supervise the overall probe. The agency is probing all cases related to violence against women out of 6,523 FIRs that have been registered. In this state till date, the team has 29 women officers, including 2 DIGs, 6 Deputy Superintendent of Police, several inspectors, sub-inspectors, constables and 2 public prosecutors. The team led by women officials have been constituted to probe the sexual assault cases, while some team members have already been sent to Manipur. Others will be soon going, an official has said. Normally, when such large number of cases are handed over to the CBI, the agency depends on the state concerned to provide manpower as well, officials said. But in case of Manipur, they will try to minimize the role of local officers to avoid any allegations of bias in the probe. That they are trying to avoid the presence of local officers because they don't want to be said that there is some kind of bias.
The first thing that came to my mind when I read about this, the strap being 53-member CBI team that is now going to probe Manipur. Of course, more boots does help the conscience, put to rest all the anxieties that are going around in the head. But too many cooks spoiling the broth is also another factor that could play out.
See, I think the case number 6,000 plus cases.
This is such a huge team.
It's a huge team because, I think for that 6,000 FIRs that have been registered, this team is actually very less. I think it is, and plus, there is this huge pressure on this team as well to say that they need to avoid allegations of bias at any cost. So they are operating on a very fine rope line, and I think it's going to be a delicate balancing act because they have to speak to both the communities. The 53-member team, of course, is going to have a huge challenge on their hands because at the end of the day, this team should put out a report that is trustworthy, that has conviction, and at the same time is following the directions of the Supreme Court. So, I mean, kudos to those officers who are going to carry on with that investigation because I can see the tough task that is ahead in front of them when they're going to start that probe. Plus, already the situation is very delicate on the ground. We have peace in the last almost 5-6 days in Manipur, but the tension is still prevalent on the ground, and therefore they have to, navigate through all that when they investigate these cases.
Well, absolutely, because, even as the Independence Day celebrations were carried out and the Chief Minister was given that Guard of Honor, the trust on law and order still isn't, what do you call it, quite high on the ground. There is still a lot of discrepancy. There's a lot of fear in the people and on the ground as well. You saw the sophisticated weapons that, all these militant
and you have the militias.
Yeah.
You have all these militant outfits and you have these
with
militias.
The right kind of weaponry.
With the right kind, with the right kind of weaponry in a very wrong sense also. So It's actually shocking, and you also saw that parade in which they were, the kind of sophisticated arms that they were carrying out. All this just says that it's a challenging situation on the ground, and the weapons still being in circulation and still armories being looted is another big factor in this.
Absolutely. So protest not dying down. Cinema, some say, was already there. Many suggesting that it has returned. That ban on Hindi movies, that has been completely removed. They welcomed Uri and all that happened. But still, the bigger question is, what will this 53-member CBI team achieve on the ground? And all of us here at News9, we're going to continue to bring you all the latest and accurate information right out of Manipur.